April was a great month for video game releases, and the good times will keep on rolling in May when multiple Game of the Year candidates hit the market. Whether you love blockbusters or smaller games that have something to say, there's something for everyone in the coming weeks. The Age of Wonders franchise never sticks to a consistent theme. The last entry from 2019, Planetfall, is a sci-fi excursion, but Age of Wonders 4 returns its addicting 4X strategy formula to fantasy, as the Wizard King returns to wreak havoc. This time the focus is on storytelling and customization, two things its competitors generally lack. If you're tired of historically accurate 4X strategy games, this is one to target. Its initial reviews have been encouraging, and 2 content packs and 2 full expansions are already planned. May starts off with a bang, or a stake to the heart, as the studio behind Dishonored and Prey unleashes its new beast, Redfall. This cooperative vampire shooter has you taking on nests of the vermin with friends, but there's a lot more to it than that. Each playable character has special abilities that can make them a very specific threat, so team composition is extremely important. The vampire ecosystem is also quite complex, allowing you to scale each hunt to your team's skills and strengths. It's the first true exclusive game from Bethesda for Xbox since it acquired the publisher, so you either get yourself an Xbox Series console or subscribe to Game Pass for the month on your PC. The first Darkest Dungeon is a certified indie hit. Its creepy art style, addictive turn-based battles, and stifling difficulty made it a cult hit back in 2016. Almost 7 years later, the sequel is finally here, but it hasn't been nerfed in the slightest. Permadeath is still a thing, so if you covet units, you could be in for a rough ride. Early access reviews from 18 months ago haven't been tremendous, but that's a long time to polish things up and make necessary tweaks. If you like the original, it's hard to imagine you won't fall in love with the sequel as well. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is the year's biggest video game release. Its predecessor, Breath of the Wild, is one of the highest reviewed games of all time, and this sequel looks to build on all the things people love about it. With a multitude of brand new powers like Recall, which lets you rewind time, or Ascend, which removes some of the annoying climbing, there are plenty of quality of life improvements. It also doubles down on the building from the first game, giving it a formal interface called Ultra Hand. It's more of what everyone loves about the prior game, but we're still in the dark on whether it will include real dungeons or legitimate storytelling. Regardless, if you're buying one game this month, this one is it. Humanity was debuted with a somewhat confusing trailer, but since then, we've been clued into what it actually is. The object of the game is to herd humans through dangerous puzzle terrain and deliver them unscathed to their final destination. You play as a herd dog, tasked with what seems like an impossible job, but you also have various tools at your disposal to get the job done. If you're a fan of Rez or Tetris Effect, it's made by the same team, and it shares a lot of similar aesthetics. It's Lemmings for the 21st century. There's no other game quite like it, and we've been especially impressed playing it in VR. It's been almost 9 long years since we got a new Mario Kart game. Competitors have been slow to fill the void, but this year in particular has provided plenty of alternatives. The next in line is LEGO 2K Drive, the first game in a massive collaboration deal between LEGO and 2K Games. Is an open-world kart racer where you can build and then race your own contraptions. The open world is enormous, and you can just putt around leisurely or jump into races with other human players like in Burnout Paradise. It's looking to leapfrog Mario Kart in a major way and put Nintendo's long-running franchise on blast. While it's supposed to be the next main entry in the terrifying first-person horror franchise, Amnesia the Bunker feels more like a spin-off. Regardless, it should still have you on the brink of filling your britches. It's still a first-person survival horror game, and it's set in a desolate World War I bunker where evil is lurking in the shadows. The developers are hoping to impart more freedom into the gameplay to provide a more unscripted design overall, and it includes more traditional weapons this time, like guns. Dust off those fright or fight feelings. Telltale went from being best-in-class adventure game developers of franchises like The Walking Dead to, well, dead. And then revived again. But not everyone returned. Some rose from their graves to form a development studio, Zombie, and its first bite with its new body is Star Trek Resurgence. This choose-your-own adventure, set in the USS Resolute, will give you agency over how the story is told as you interact with some of the franchise's most iconic characters. The Warhammer 40K license is one of the most used and abused properties in gaming. There have been games of just about every genre based on the license, but there are a couple stragglers, like the first-person shooter. That's all fixed with Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun. The catch, or trick, depending on your perspective, is that it's a pixelated throwback to classic shooters like Doom. It's named after a weapon with huge caliber bullets that explode on impact, which tells you all you need to know. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, then you've likely already experienced the love-hate relationship fans have with the Hobbit, formerly known as Sméagol. He's played a huge role in the films and books, but he's been overlooked for decades when it comes to video games. Well, that all changes with The Lord of the Rings Gollum, a third-person, stealth-driven action-adventure starring the preciously creepy little runt. Stealth games are a hard sell in 2023, but this game has been in development for quite a while, so we're hoping All the Time has managed to provide some new twist to the formula. Thanks for watching our rundown of all the games worth checking out in May 2023. Now the truth is, there are plenty of other games you should be keeping your eye on over the next 30 days, and that's why you should be using Sifted to help find your next favorite game. If you like what we're doing, head to patreon.com/sifted and drop us a pledge. We'll see you next month.